creaky staircases. Extremely annoying and extremely common. Well, today I'm going to show you how to fix one step by step, so that by the end of this video you'll be able to fix a creaky staircase yourself. So the first step is going to be getting the carpet off these stairs. Now that might sound scary if you've never done it before, but it's actually really easy. I'll show you how to do that first, and putting it back down later is going to be easy as well, because this has been down for some years and it's kind of taken the shape of these stairs. So putting it down is actually going to be pretty simple. You'll be able to just start this off with a screwdriver and pull the carpet off the grippers, and that's very, very common, at least here in the UK. The majority of your carpets are going to be down with carpet grippers. If the carpet's glued down, that is going to be a little bit more difficult, because glued down carpets always are, but you should find that it's down with these carpet grippers. My method is going to teach you to fix the stairs from above. You're not going to need to gain access underneath. Stairs these days are often plasterboarded or closed in, and getting access underneath can be very difficult. So I'll work my way along, pulling the carpet off the grippers as we move up the stairs. And as you start to work your way up the stairs, put some shoes on. If you've ever stood on a gripper, you'll understand why. Them things hurt, and if you do this without shoes on, you're gonna stand on one. And what you're often going to find is your stairs will have been carpeted in two sections. So what we want to do is make sure we lay this carpet out of the way in order. If we don't, of course, they're not going to go down quite the same way, because this carpet has moulded itself to the shape of the stairs. Now the carpet's off, we can remove the underlay. You can see the underlay is just stapled on. They should come out nice and easy with a screwdriver. Once they're out, you'll be able to remove your underlay. So now we're going to remove the grippers, but we don't need to remove all of them. We only need to remove the ones on the tread of the stairs. So this piece here, the one on the riser is not going to be in the way of the job we're doing, but the one on the tread is. So use a nice flat pry bar and just work your way along the gripper a bit at a time. So you can see the grippers are fairly easy to remove. The little nails are ring shank nails, so they do grab in a little bit, and that's why you want to take your time when you're removing these. So to fix a creaky staircase like this, we need to first understand why it creaks. Now the reason is, essentially, staircases move over the years. Timber warps, timber dries out, and timber moves, and it creates gaps in places that cause it to creak. Now there's two places that you're going to get an issue on the staircase. If you remember, I said the stairs are made of two parts. We've got the riser, this piece here, and the tread, this piece here. So we've got the nose of the tread, excuse my drawing, but it looks something a little like that. What you've then got is this riser coming up and sitting within this rebate here. And once that riser starts to move within that tread as you walk up and down the stairs, that generates creaks and squeaks. The other thing that generates creaks and squeaks is this. Gaps behind the tread, between the tread and the bottom of the riser there. The tread moves up and down very slightly and rubs against the bottom of the riser, and that's what causes that creakiness. Sometimes you'll get even bigger gaps and it'll be extremely visible. These ones are not too bad. The majority of the noise on these ones is coming from that rebate in the bottom of the tread there. Now we're going to fix both these issues. I'm going to do both. We've got the carpet up anyway, we might as well. What you don't want to do is get the carpet down and then realise you should have fixed both of these problems. So what I'm going to do is show you how to fix them both. But before I do that, if you're not already a subscriber, hit subscribe for me, because you don't want to miss out on future videos. We've got some huge stuff coming out, and hit like, because that helps this video reach and help more people on YouTube. So let's fix the tread down to the top of the riser first. So we're going to go through just behind the nose down into the riser. We know the riser is into a rebate within the tread, just back from the nose here, but we need to know exactly where to screw through. Best thing to do, grab your tape measure, take a measurement. So we've got 25mm from the nose to the riser. So I'm going to set a square to 30mm. I can then run a line at 30mm all the way along the tread. To make it quicker, I'll make that mark on every single tread, and I know it's going to be perfect. Now I'm going to make a 3mm pilot hole just on that line. And I'm going to space 4 screws out evenly along the tread. Now I've got some 50mm screws, not too long. You just want something double the size of the thickness of the tread. You don't want anything far too long. If you go off at an angle, you'll come out the side of the riser. So keep it nice and straight, apply a bit of pressure, and you can actually see the tread and the riser nipped together. So that's taken that bit of flex out of the tread. I'll repeat that for the rest of the steps. That's the easy bit done. We're then going to move on to the back section. There's a bit of a knack to that one. So now we want some PVA. You can get this from any DIY store, but I'll pop a link in the description for all these handy bits and bobs so that you can grab them there if you want to. And you need some water, a little pot, and a paintbrush. And we're going to mix up a watered down PVA mix. You want this to be about a 50-50 mix. So pop a bit of water in there and a bit of PVA. And we're going to mix the two together. If it goes slightly grey, that's just because I've used this brush for black paint. But what we're going to end up with is a nice watery glue, and that's exactly what we need. So why do we water it down? Well, if we didn't, the PVA would be too thick to run down that very small gap, which is less than 1 millimetre between the riser and the tread. And we want to bond those two together with glue and screws. So we need something that's going to run down there. And this being very runny, we can just put that in the gap, and we're just using the brush to work it into position. Don't be tight with it, put plenty in, and it's going to fall down into that gap. Now in most cases the PVA will do it, but sometimes you're going to find you've got a bigger gap between the two surfaces. If that's the case, you'll want this stuff. This is a 5-minute glue, and this stuff goes off rock hard. What you want to do is work this into any bigger gaps. Just squeeze some 5-minute glue down into that gap, and that's going to take up the gap. And this stuff foams up once it goes hard, and you can just take off any of the excess. But we're not done yet. We want a glue and screw method. So we're now going to screw the two surfaces together whilst that glue goes off. So we've got that glue in, but we want to nip the two materials together to give the glue a chance to go off and to give it a bit of extra strength. So we're going to nip the bottom of the riser to the tread, but we've only got a small piece of material to work with. So come away about 20 mil from the riser and make a little mark in 4 areas along the tread. I've then got my pilot hole again, start off straight, then create a nice sharp angle and pilot hole through the tread into the riser. Now I've got a countersink bit, and I'm just going to countersink each hole. I'm just giving it a little hoover, and then I'm going to drive in those 50mm screws at an angle. You'll see as we screw these together, the two surfaces nip together. You can tell because the glue squeezes out of the gap. Glue's in and the screws have pulled everything in tight. Now we just want to let that glue go off overnight and come back in the morning and put the carpet back down. Now you'll be able to see where the old marks were for the grippers. Now the underlay. You'll want a staple gun for this. I'll link one in the description. Pull the underlay tight and use the staple gun to fix it in place. Now the carpet goes down. Remember, it goes down in the same order that it came up. This is quite hard to film. I've put the first bit of carpet on the gripper, just laid it on there, and then I'm going to roughly just place each step. You don't need professional carpet fitting tools. I've got an old bolster, and all I'm doing is helping that carpet to go in between the grippers. So already the stairs just feel more solid. But how does it sound? Well, hopefully you can hear this. The sound of silence. There's no more creaks and squeaks. The stairs are fixed. Hope this one's helped you. If it has, check out one of these because they're bound to help as well. I'll see you guys in the next one.